We're back. Another episode of Path 7. I want to talk about the main thing I want to talk about. And it was confirmation from somebody else. New courts, new courts, new courts, new courts, new courts. New number, don't call me. Excuse me. But new courts. Mr. Miyagi. Pretty much never outshine your sensei. That's one thing you never do. When you outshine your sensei, at some stigma, at some point, you become something that you're not supposed to, because you're still supposed to be under tutelage of this actual person who's working with you or teaching you the way. And I mean, once you get to a certain point, you don't want to actually what do I want to say? You don't want to get to a point where you forget that this person is actually the one who's putting you on. So as in saying that, you're getting your downloads from this person. This person is teaching you the way into how to do things, and pretty much just how to navigate not your matrix, but the matrix that they perceive, that they see through their reality. So as in saying that, you always want to just stay humble with the person you're learning from, because like me, I still work a 9 to 5, and at my 9 to 5, everybody comes to me because I'm becoming like a light source of energy, because I've done a lot of prana work, which is strengthening my breath and strengthening my core, so that way I won't need to eat as much, because I am not using as much of my body's like nutrition or the things I eat to sustain my life force. My life force now is coming from breath, or just really just in a time where most information is so low. Really now my information is coming from the energy I'm getting is coming from just like transmuting the sexual energy, which is my generational traumas, which is strengthening my solar plexus, my root chakra, and my sacral. My sacral is where your sacral is right above your navel, where like your sexual energy and most of your emotions like come from, and your solar plexus is like your where your actual your soul rests. Excuse me. Um, hmm. And for me, I'm in a different location this time. This time I'm in a different location. I'm still like close to home, but I'm like a little bit far out the way because I live in the city. I always speak about that, and like right now, the vibrations are very super sexual, lust based, and most of it is coming from like the rap music. Not just rap music. I don't want to single out just rap music, because you have rock and roll, which is in the same sentence very not violent, but it gives you a raging a mosh pit kind of vibe. And as in saying that, I never want to blame music, because I can blame music because it actually like it alters our molecular makeup, regardless if you want to say it or not, because it affects the water that's in your body. And for saying that, if the music is produced at a frequency that's not in harmony with your body, then at that point it's going to cause your homeostasis to be affected. Same thing like when I always say, when you're watching a movie and somehow they're just like playing like certain tunes and tones that make you feel sad out of nowhere. That's strategically studied and done. Um, Let me think. But yeah, back to Mr. Miyagi. Like because I become a light source, people literally like not they do prey on my energy. Prey. They prey on my energy to the point where it's just like how can I say it? It's more of a sense of like a lot of people come to me for what's the word I'm looking for just energy and light codes, and I'm always telling people like there's certain points in the day where you can't really fight the program. The program is the program, so you have to allow, like, if you meet somebody new, just hey, hi, what's up. You're still exchanging information consciously or subconsciously, and now because the telepathy is not strong here, but it's strong, but it's not refined, and because it's not refined by anything, at that point it's not creating a sense of it's not creating a sense of what do I want to say? It's not creating a sense of construction. It's not going anywhere positive. Like most of telepathy is just based upon like sitcoms, celebrity gossip, ungrounded information, and a lot of things that don't really mean much. So as I'm saying that, there's some people who are like doing spell work to keep people in certain timelines, and that's what we're seeing the most. Anytime the moon's in like a mutable sign of Sagittarius, it's in Sagittarius today. Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces, or Virgo. It's like it's like your soul is it has the ability to change and mold, and at that point, depending on how much you have in your chart, how much mutable energy you have in your chart, at that point it will become more not volatile in your soul, but it'll make your soul more aware of what's going on around you. And at that point, you have to always be able to stay in your energy and like give an authentic response. And that's the hard part, like, because there's so much information always going on around you that you have to be able to give an authentic response, and at the same time of giving an authentic response, remember who you are within that stasis of that energy. So as in saying that, it's all about be able to get information, not like make a response like out of just getting the information, but retaining the information. And then after you get it, like throw it back out. Like me, I transmute it so fast that like by the time I get it and I'm conscious of it, it already happened and pushed on. Then it's just up to me to give an emotional response, which is kind of sticking to it or like just being in a space of like, all right, whatever, and kind of moving on. So like with me, it's just like I'm like a soul tie to so many. I have soul ties to so many people that they are like literally like accessing my energy because they are like not trained witches, but they are witches in their own like ancestral lineage. So like as in saying that, those women are like they're calling upon my energy when they have something bad happen to their life. When something bad happens in their life, or like shit gets bad, they'll just think about me, and like because I'm so intuitive, I pick up on it, and when I pick up on it, it still it makes me like not jittery, but I'm aware. And as soon as I'm aware, it's like, all right, so what are you going to do with it now? Like, how are you going to transmute this energy? How are you going to make this energy your own? How are you going to make it your own, like, response, and then not take it any kind of way? So it's just like, how are you going to take information at the same time you take information? How are you going to like push it back out? Because like I said, I tell people all the time, you can't hold on to something for that long in this capitalistic society. You have to be able to take something, push it out, get it right back, and then give it to the next person. Because if you sit on it too long, it's like having a bomb on your body, and it's like the longer you get it, the longer it takes, the more it just like gives off on you. So it's like everywhere you go, you're getting a bad call or a bad vibe, and it's like you not that you. It's not saying that you're running from the vibe, but you're passing it along, so it becomes like something that we all get it, and it's just like being in like not in a chain gang or something like it, but just being able to like get the energy, get the information, and then push it off to the next person. It's like reading a good book. After you get the good book, pass it to somebody else. Give it this to this, give it to that. And at the same time, because I'm so much of always being in the same location all the time, it's like different people always call on my energy. Like they're always like, depending on what I'm doing, these people are always interrupting my transmission. So it's like I have to learn how to be authentic to what's going on around me, because there's so many people that's connected to me who are like in a space of like they're playing with magic, but they're not serious about it. And me, I don't play with magic. I manipulate energy. So that's the difference. Like when people say I'm a witch or I'm whatever, I'm like, nah, that's not my thing. I don't have to wait for certain moon cycles or put spells on people. I don't have to set certain intentions. It's just like me, like my subconscious does the legwork instead of me doing it. Like if for me, that's why I train 24/7. I train so much, so like when a certain situation happens, it's like I've already been here before. I've done this before. Like this is nothing new to me. Like I've already done it. So if I've already done it, I've been programming myself to do it for so long. At that point, it's gonna be second nature, and I don't have to do anything with it. So at that point, it's just like get it, take it, pass it on. Get it, take it, and pass it on, and that's the whole part. But that goes back to Mr. Miyagi again. That same quote, but Even like with people, like it'll be a lot of times in life where I know people may see a lot more than me, but that's because you haven't like honed your awareness. When your awareness is just all open, that's when you're open to attack too. So that's when people will implant like certain things into your aura. You be thinking you're like in tune or seeing certain things. It's like nah, you're actually living out a timeline and somebody actually still controlling you and giving you information and like not spoon feeding you. They are spoon feeding you information, but they're like they're brown nosing you. They pretty much give you small breadcrumbing you. They're giving you small pieces of information, and then at some point they're going to give you the whole big thing. And you're not going to be prepared for everything that comes along with it. So at that point, you're going to pretty much be trying to look for information at a point where you should be looking for information. You should just be on your path and just loving yourself so authentically that nothing bothers you. So if something bothers you, it's just a test to see like, all right, well, when I have something that happens to me, I'm in a space of what is this, who's sending it, and then I throw it away. It's like, all right, this isn't like benefiting me in any kind of way, so I just throw it over my shoulder and kind of keep moving. But that takes time to get to that point. So it's like a lot of people like think they're just going to like catch up to me in one day. I'm like, I've been literally doing this and training for this my entire life. Like, I've had certain things happen to me when I was a kid that were just like, all right, well, I'm pretty sure nobody else saw this but me, and I would know I'm on certain timelines that, excuse me, I'm on certain timelines where I'm seeing and experiencing certain things at the age of like 6 years old. Like my channel was open at 6, but maybe the people around me were more aware of it and they cut it off before it opened up too much, just like in certain movies and things like it. But I appreciate it. It's something I had to experience, learn from, and then constantly bounce back. So, as in saying that, like right now, somebody's like trying to get me to start looking for clues again because before I was just kind of just floating through the ethers, like just not really grounded as much in myself. But then it's like as soon as you start turning your power on, that's when the people that are watching you or monitor you, these monitor spirits, whatever they are, they start to like actually be like, all right, he's serious kind of thing. And it's just like that's when they want to like cultivate a certain like energetic like situation for you. And it's like that's never anything you should do because that means you're you're out of integrity and you're not staying where you're supposed to be located. Like you know what I mean? Like just in saying like in different things, it's like somebody who's a vegan, you don't want to see a vegan eating like certain foods that are like that contain meat based products or animal flesh. So it's, as in saying that, it's just like you're in a certain like locations you're not supposed to be in. And for me, I'm never in locations I'm not supposed to be in just because like for me, I only go where the angels are. Like wherever I go, I'm just trying to supposed to like set up a good frequency or a jump point for people who are trying to like go into different dimensions or who are trying to be initiated into like higher realms of consciousness. So as in saying that, I'm never really anywhere that like low vibes are at, and it's just like most people say, no, that's where you're supposed to be at. It's like, nah, that's what they tell you. So you end up burnt out, and you end up like stressed out, and you start having panic attacks and going crazy because you're like, so many people are accessing and cultivating energy for you that's not yours. So as in saying that, like me spending like, I got here about like 8 or 9 o'clock, 8 or 9 o'clock to like maybe about 5 o'clock ish or so. I worked the whole shift in a different like energetic frequency. So it's like at that point, I'm in a space that people aren't really used to. I'm able to create from a different space of something new. So as I say that, you just have to learn how to make ways to excuse me. You have to find ways to do the work yourself. You can't piggyback off of other people's hard work. You have to like constantly like figure out and learn who you are as a person. And just when you learn who you are as a person, it takes you further and further and further into like the places you want to be. And then when you get to places you want to be, you end up in places that you need to like resonate with. So with me, I'm in places that I resonate with because I'm able to always live within myself. So me, no, anytime I'm outside of my means or outside of like my comfort zone, I still know that like I can still find my way back home per se. Like I can still find my way back to my energetic frequency, and that's from either like using crystals or just not doing things that aren't in resonance with me and the person that I want to become. So as in saying that, I'm just trying to always just cultivate my own energy without like too much interference, and that's why it still comes back to the Mr. Miyagi like term again, just always knowing yourself and knowing what you resonate with. Because if you don't resonate with certain things, don't do it. Like it's just that simple. And to the new level of like warfare, you're starting to be able to see like there is an actual like celestial war going on, and it's just like certain people are trying to come into like consciousness, but they're not able to because it's hard for them to break past that threshold of Scorpio and go into the world of Sagittarius, and then kind of keep processing. That's why once you get to Scorpio, it's not a stopping point. It's just like a death, like a ending of a season going into another season. That's why it's right there between fall and like winter, because it's literally the earth dying off to create another new bandwidth or a new way of perceiving reality. So as I'm saying that, you have to like really know who you are and being in a space of like cultivating your energy for you to make your own like wishes out of it, to become your own self and to not allow other people to dictate what you're trying to do. So as in saying that, always be in a space of where you're trying to study yourself to the point where you know exactly who you are and nobody's like actually dictating your reality for you. And it takes a lot of time to get there. It's not an overnight process. A lot of people are expecting to like wake up and just be here. It's like nah, you're naturally there. That's the whole point. Like you resonate in the truth, but the older and the more you go into reality, the more you're conditioned, not by nature, but you're conditioned by your peers and people around you to go off your path. And then you wake up at 40 and 50 and say you never lived. So it's such a thing to the point where it's just like you have to be able to just know who you are, develop who you are, and then also just be at a space of just co-creating places that resonate with what you're trying to do. Never outshine your master. Even if you see more than your master, you know more than your master, or you're Miyagi. Learn from him. Don't learn from anybody else. Well, not learn. Don't learn from anybody else, but always there's always gonna be one person that you may know more than them. They may see more than you, but you know more than them. So as in saying that, some people will say you don't see how I see it. It's like I'm not supposed to. We're supposed to just meet in the middle and then co-create together, and that's where reality has like got us to a point where we can't really agree to disagree, and that's where we're faulted as like society. On the well.